Making breakthrough discoveries needs special sort of people, such as those we have at the IMB. It needs people who are willing to stand at the edge of what's known, identify the important missing facts, and then they commit their lives to finding this new knowledge. In order to do that, we need partners.
What drew me to the IMB is that while we're interested in basic discovery, we're interested more so in translating that into things that will be useful for humankind. So one of the things we're most interested in is stroke. It's the third largest killer in Australia, and yet remarkably we have absolutely no drugs to protect the brain after stroke, and that's the situation we'd like to change. One of the biggest challenges at the current time is funding for our research. Australia's research funding from government sources has dropped to the lowest level ever. And so it's therefore very important we look at alternative sources of funding such as philanthropy, without which we really wouldn't be able to do the incredible work that's going on here at the IMB.
Places like this need a lot of donations or income. They've got all these fancy tools, and then in 3 years, 5 years, there's better things that come in. So yeah, you need lots and lots of money for all of these things. So just to stand still, you've got to run really fast just to stay with the pack. That's why I donated some money to it.
So within our group, we are focused on researching women's health and the pathogenesis of endometriosis. Endometriosis affects 10% of women. It comes at a huge financial burden. It's got huge socioeconomic costs. Knowing the impact it has on women really gives me that extra incentive to want to be involved in such an important project. Some of the major challenges facing us at the moment is definitely funding for endometriosis research. So women with endometriosis deserve an investment in research considering the prevalence of the disease and the socioeconomic impact.
Brain cancer, especially in children, is something that people just don't think about. And it's a huge medical problem. We have made some advances with some tumours, but it's still the most common form of cancer that leads to death in children. In our society, we all want the quick fix. We want to tap something into our phone and get an answer. But there's so much we don't understand about why a tumour actually arises in the first place. Why does the cell that's in your body that's supposed to be there to help form part of your brain decide to go rogue? Once you can do that, then you can start focusing down and do the experiments in the lab.
Brain cancer is an absolutely devastating disease. Our research has discovered that we can actually use an existing drug and basically repurpose this drug to prevent chemotherapy-induced side effects. We're really excited that our research will lead to a clinical trial and that the funding we've received will accelerate, hopefully, positive outcomes for many, many kids. Philanthropic funding, in addition to facilitating really important work, also means to me that my research is actually important to people and that somebody believes in the work that I do, and that actually also really helps us to keep going in the current climate.
I find that a lot of the people who help and donate are people who've been through it, and they're the people who can least afford it. So for me, it's really important that we have corporates and other people on board, that it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It makes so much difference. It might only be a little bit of money to them, but all put together, it really can make a difference.
My name is Dominique and I'm a first year PhD student at the Institute for Molecular Bioscience. So my research is aimed at trying to understand polycystic kidney disease. Receiving the Rosamond Simmons Scholarship has given me the opportunity to pursue a PhD at one of the leading research institutes in Australia.
It's difficult to state just how important the donations and philanthropic efforts of individuals, communities, organisations are to what we do. And if there's one thing that I would really want them to hear, it's that those contributions are incredibly valued. They help us to take our research in new directions, to push the scope, to find new things. The discoveries that we make will be able to translate into better futures.
I invite you please to join our Directors Circle, our community of committed philanthropists, and together we can create change.